Has anyone ever listened to this bit? Does anyone ever actually hear this bit? So I just start streaming, and then after like 20 minutes, when someone says hi to me, I'll say hi back. But hi. How are we all doing? So you notice I'm streaming to a different place on my mixer now, for reasons. Let's slap that chat across. Hey, Patrick, how you doing, man? Oh, come on. Chromecast. You can do it. Oh, pussy kids, you've been fed. You've had your treats. You've had your love. It's being funny. I expect my Chromecast to burst back into life. There we go. Man, your cereal, the last thing your cereal said, it sounds mean. He said, alright, mate, enjoy your life. Go. Come on. Are you opening up? There we go. My cat's being funny. He's sitting beside his bed. I'm just loving him. I'm loving the kitty. I'm loving the kitty. He wants his daily dose of attention because I apparently got out of bed too soon. Now, hold on, I saw this the other day. I saw this, and I was like, whoa, I didn't know that was a thing. Unity color HSV. It's built in. Alright, yeah. That's the one. Okay, I always get concerned when the cat is particularly attentive, like something might be wrong. Kinda. Okay, the skybox itself, I have a feeling, is pink. Render settings dot skybox dot skybox. I don't think I'll make a difference. I'm going to tint the skybox colour. Interesting. I might have to actually do something here. I actually don't think I have this one. It's all quiet today. It's so quiet. So we will be getting the masses through a bit later. Yeah. So maybe that still doesn't. I do know Skybox at the moment, which is obviously not brilliant because that'll be might be good enough for the second. That's still weird. What colour's the directional light as well? No, directional light's fine. Maybe the set colour. Underscore tint. That's about it. Let's sucker on that a little bit slower. Also, slightly curious, but that planet is not picking up any fog. And it does seem to be quite a bit closer, so I guess. I'm just grabbing this onto a different computer so I can desaturate the background. And re-import them as pings as well. But probably if I do space skybox desat, and that starts off as white. And then we should put white in this. Oh man, do we seriously not have any white? Oh, well then, white blob. So they should hopefully tint in a more useful way. It's much more coherent, isn't it? Awesome. All I need is a desaturated version of the old ones. Which is an odd thing not to supply. Like, supply me with a cool colour thing, sure, but also just supply me with one that I can actually use. Unrelated as well, the performance was freaking awful. So my second rig, the one that I'm planning to run this on, is right now it's an old PCP. I don't think I underclocked it. I just think I overclocked it. If that makes sense. I can't remember. I think it's back down to 3.2. It was at 4. Because I don't. This PC I don't use anymore. So I just, when I'm not using it, I say I underclocked it. But that's something that this turns out to do well. So I'm gonna do this for the morning, and then I'm going to drone be off the afternoon. Is my plan. Well, Todd didn't do any commits at all. Wow, there's a lot of data in this asset pack. So I actually start this now while I'm waiting. Oh, that's confused me. Where's my mixer button? Oh, that's interesting. Where's the mixer button gone? Wait, how lagged is this? Oh, that's really confusing. Let me refresh that. There we go. Suddenly it's come back. Oh, that's cool. See the different colours in different time. Just want to see how it looked when it was actually like not just watching the same scene over and over and over. Surprisingly, given that the skybox is literally that, it actually doesn't look too bad. I'm quite surprised. It won't actually cycle around like this. The plan is just to have it pick random ones every every level or something, so it doesn't always look the same. I should have seen what level I was. Yeah, I don't have FTL turned on, unfortunately. One, two, one, and done. There we go. Oh, wait. Look at me. Oh, was I too slow? Oh, man, I'm too slow. How annoying. I am level 8 there. That's what I want to see. I'm level 8. That's cool. Oh my god, it's still doing it. Oh, come on. Need to go fast on this stupid internet. It's not the internet's fault, really. It's just the wrong... I'm getting the wrong folder. That said, I can do a white one. That's better. Now, I do wonder about the directional light as well. It does make a slight difference. I'm saving myself for later. I expect it to be busier later. Oh, yeah, hopefully I'll be more awake by then. Okay, float LR up hue equals LR main hue plus 1F mod 1F. Oh, no, not 1. That would be the same one. 0.5. That's what that gets us. Ooh. That's interesting. I mean, it's working, but it's way more saturated than I was expecting. Now I need plenty of V, but less S. That looks a little better. So now the lighting's about the same. Oopsie, hold on, look at me. There we go. Yay, level 9. Oh, okay, I didn't see it in time. Oh, wait, hold on. That wasn't long enough. We'll come back to that one. That was very weird. Cam state, static track. And I clicked. And it went to static track. Yeah, that looks nice now because now it doesn't always look the same. And if I look at the planet, you see, the planet itself, atmosphere color. Oops, I didn't mean to edit the shit out. Atmo color, okay. Graphics. Match atmospheric serial property block. Yeah, 1 second timer. bright tint coal. And we want a dark tint tool as well. That's what we need for this. I think something like that, I hope. So if inverted coal Is it working? I can't tell. Oh, I haven't applied the MVP, so no. No, mesh dot. Wait, that doesn't seem working either. Maybe. Yeah, it is good. I can't actually tell it's working, I have to say. Oh, there we go. Nice. Right, I'm going to get some more coffee. I have no idea if anybody's watching. I haven't even bothered to look at the numbers today. It's too early. Well, it's 10 o'clock. It feels too early. I'm quite pleased, though. I'm not pleased with the frame rate. That is something I'm going to need to look at, because this needs to run at 60 with a lot of players, and yesterday it was running at about 40 to 60 with a lot less than a lot of players. Right, back in a minute. Right. Actually, let's turn off VSync. And see what we get. Lovely biscuits. Low fat, low sugar biscuits, no less as well, which are surprisingly good. Wow. So, for those of you paying attention, I was looking for a song yesterday, and I've been through most of my playlists. Most of it's gone. Right. Only the obscure stuff from my playlist is still left. Everything else has been shut down. Forgot what I was going to do. Oh yeah, performance. Excuse me. Okay, let's do a deep profile. It doesn't help that this is doing nearly 200 frames a second here. Like, literally, it's doing... I can't stand this thing by Unity. It's just awful. I don't know why, yeah. Yeah, so if we weren't in the editor, I would then be running there something insane, like 5,000 frames per second. Not much I can do about that. I guess I'll run the game. Oh, wrong window. Yeah. So, on this rig, it's running so well, there's barely nothing to profile. It's taking a millisecond to render. Unless that's culling. Apparently, on pre-cull. Okay, so I might want to do a slightly lower version of the effects. We are using the new Fancy Pants post-processing layers. It's typical fucking Unity unhelpful. Warning. Do not use everything or default as a layer mask because it's in the volume blending process. Put process volumes in their own dedicated layer for best performance. Okay, what? Right, so if I do, if I make one called Post Pro, and then I put the layer Post Pro, yeah, it doesn't fucking work. So what are you talking about? Like, I genuinely don't know what it's trying to tell me. So, it seems like a bit of a pointless message. I wonder if they did any documentation for it. Nope. But yeah, this new Unity thing, it's awful. Like, so I've got motion blur, and my options are off or on the sample count. Okay, let's try it with the lowest sample count, see how it looks. Where's my... So when it pans across... No pan. Yeah, that's not too bad actually. That's still 4. That's 4 samples, not 32. Although a cleverer system, you see, would have added more samples the more the camera was moving. That really doesn't help that... well, there we go. Maybe I can... yeah. Yeah, it's high quality, low quality. Maybe 8? That's interesting. Between 8 and 32, I can see no difference. Almost no difference. So we'll go down to 8 for that. But like the bloom, there's no option to downsample. There's a button marked fast mode. So I'll turn on fast mode and see if I see any difference. No. Fast mode appears to be fractionally darker, and that's it. We'll keep that one on. unfortunately, that's pretty much all I've got. Like, performance-wise, that's it. I don't know if that'll actually be enough to get me back. Where's my profiler? So I turn off the profiler. What's my frame rate? 140 odd. Still not as much as I would perhaps expect. But the problem is that the Unity profiler is awful. So there's my profiler. So I've taken some screen grabs. So let's have a look at the this bit. I'm going to even look at the... and it took me 2.5 seconds to render the scene. But apparently, we had 2 renders. And one of them... now, I realise I'm ranting to myself. I don't care. Why could that not be camera brackets name of camera? So I'm assuming this is the other camera because we've got a UI cam. But the other camera doesn't do AA. I can't remember. It's this one. I can't imagine it's this one. So why does it keep changing? I don't understand why it's updating the depth texture. Let's just assume my let's check my assumption, not assume I check. If I turn off the second cam. Yeah, okay, so that second camera is the UI camera. It's taking half a millisecond. It's not... I don't understand. Why is it running camera image effects on the second camera? Like, this is all this one has on its UI elements. The idea is that they don't get affected by vignetting and those sort of things. But it's taking quarter of a minute to resolve the... I don't understand why it's got anti-aliasing on. Let me just flip off AA on the main camera. Much rather have dynamic resolution. I still don't think they've given that to me. Like, I still don't think they have actually... Like, they added dynamic resolution on the Xbox in December 2017. What? No. Unity DRS. 2018? The thing is, it's quite easy to do a DRS, but you want one in the engine, really. Oops, wrong. Unity dynamic resolution Windows. Like, this is the typical fucking Unity added it and then kind of went. Dynamic resolution is a solution to so many of my issues on so many of my games. It just means that you can say to the game, run at 4K, and if it hits a particularly difficult part, oh, fuck off. Like it will be. It's just massively useful. Way dynamic resolution for PS4. It's really not that hard. I love that. This can then be combined with scripts that you write. Don't do that. So that's it. They gave it for the PS4. Brilliant. My problem is partly, if I want anything to stick on the Xbox, this is the version of Unity I have to use. This is the only version of Unity currently supported on the Xbox. How could scriptable render pipelines? Interesting. That might be something I want to look at for FortressCraft as well. So they've got a high definition render pipeline. So we've got much more. Point lights have rectangle. Unity, you're speaking my language. So I looked into volumetric lighting a long time ago. So lasers in FortressCraft. I would like the beam to emit light, the whole beam. That's actually quite tricky. Yeah, that could be really good. It might be worth looking at. So I'm on 2018.2, and as far as I know, the progressive light map is still broken as fuck. But yeah, as far as I can tell, not done. What's in 2018.2? I do try and keep up, but wait, hold on. Right, hold on. 2018.1 scriptable render pipeline. What's new in Unity 2018.2? Scriptable build pipeline. Oh, build, not render. Okay. Oh, yeah. See, that might be useful. I want asynchronous upload, not read back. And I might go blind, but I can't really see any difference between those last two. Wow. And when was 2018.2? Oh, good. No date. Nice. Oh, there is a 2018.3. This thing, with FortressCraft, I will be moving to a new version, but not for a while. With other ones, I don't think I have a choice. I think I need to stick with them. But, you know, unless it's something like absolutely major. They are obsessed with global illumination. Like, honestly, I don't know. Wow, mobile added dynamic resolution support. Oh my god, are you joking? Seriously, ring buffer for particles? I wanted that, I don't know, about 15 years ago, not 10 years ago or something. I guess that's nice. This is the sort of thing where Unity do shit like this. Like, that's quite nice. And I quite like that effect, but are they genuinely telling me that was worth putting in the engine? I mean, I could probably use it for VR highlighting and stuff, but... I can't remember, they've added nested profile. That just makes me shudder. Like, Unity prefab handling is so appallingly awful. Yeah, so there's a substantially improved terrain thing in 2018.3. Like if they were adding dynamic resolution for desktop, I will go to that. But that will be an enormous performance boost. But it's stuff like this where they go, oh, look at this. And you look at it going, right, that bit's slightly more lit up. You seem very excited about things. Huh, that's interesting. Wait, prior to 2017.2, there seems to be a big gap between 2017.2 and 2018.3. Add buttons to enable light probe deringing. Overall, as ever, mostly nothing. The only thing I'm looking about is the high definition pipeline, which I may have a play with between the two sessions today. Because that would give me something I very much have been wanting for FortressCraft. There's any sort of are people in denial about how hard it is to be a game dev? No. It's weird. I see loads of articles telling me to stop telling indie devs that it's too easy. But I've never seen anyone actually say it's easy. Ever. I forgot what I was doing. Oh yeah. Can I have Unity dynamic resolution? Answer no. Yeah, there's not much I can optimize here. So that does beg the question, why it's running so badly? But possibly it was just a huge amount of anti-aliasing. Oh man, I want to look at the high definition render pipeline now. But it might make the game run badly, and I don't think I can support both, because Unity doesn't seem to have... It says you need a completely different workflow, yada yada yada. I'm just going to try running it on my main PC in a minute. Okay, so that will now... Did I already copy it across? I did, but where did it go? Builds. Games builds. Makes a flip battle. Just be curious to see whether I've got the performance back that I need. That said, before I do that, let's leave the FPS counter on. Should just be that. If I switch that across, should you see the debug version or the non-debug version? Cool. I'll be honest, the frame rate looked bad, but it was quite hard to tell. I mean, it could be that I was using NVEnc rather than software one. I mean, I'm going to need to tune this as time goes on. Let's make that build. Yeah, shut up. Just do it. Okay, so that's that. It's silent today. It's just Thursdays. Okay, you won't be able to see this because it's actually running on a completely different computer. But I will run it and I will commentate. That is the right word. Come on. There we go. I will commentate on my frame rate. And I need my, there we go. Copying it across. Okay, so we're running the game now in full screen windowed. 'Which I'll be honest was trickier than you might think, because I'm running on a different computer. When I move my mouse away, so we're running 160, 180 frames a second there. So I'm going to just join just so I can run through the cycle. Okay, it's running at 200 plus frames a second now. That's interesting. I know you can't see it, but it's running on my other computer. You can just watch my infinite horror. 220 frames a second. .130 frames a second when I turn the shadows on to look at the warship. .230 frames a second in combat. Seems alright. Seems okay. So that's good. That's good that it's... I think it was a lot slower than that. Okay, now one thing that is annoying me is the flight script. So enter battle is fine. I've got maintaining formation. Why don't we have closey braces on that? That's weird. Oh well. They're approaching mothership, which is fine. That's interesting. So, hey, Zerial, I'm being naughty and doing the wrong thing. Can't work out why when it enters this mode it suddenly just lurches. The idea is that this state lerp and regardless, state therm equals 0. And state lerp is just a clamped version of that, yeah. I don't understand. So what should happen is after it approaches the mothership, then it should bleed into the new state. So it's got a velocity, and that velocity cannot alter quickly. I'm not sure we should actually be maintaining formation. Yes, so it's the same. So I renamed. Hang on, Zero. Let me get a drink. Then I will be able to cope with doing the words. No drink for you, cat. No. This is drink. So, yes, I am. So, I have a very good reason for doing so. However, so I emailed Microsoft going, "Hello, how do I get the little crystal thing at the bottom of the screen, please?" And they went, "Oh, hello. Well, you have to do some things." And I was like, "Can I not do the things because I am special?" And he went, No, you have to do the things." And I'm like, "Oh." The weird thing is, I emailed this guy, and he's like, yes, well, because he was the contact, and then he went, "Oh, I'm not able to do this." And I'm like, "Well, why are you listed as the contact?" Anyway, beside the point. Nice bloke. So, I have a meeting with Microsoft tomorrow. There's no chat on Mixer, really? Ooh, that would be interesting. Oh gosh, that's weird, Kukor. That's because I've been looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, there is chat. But if you're using Peter's thing, that won't work. And I forgot to run the Restream bot. Right. That might do it now. Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? Okay. So, I have to do a bunch of things. Thing one, I have to stream at least 12 days a month. That's easy enough. So, or rather, the channel I want to be a part must stream 12 days a month. I must stream 25 hours of content a month. I streamed 8 last night. So, I just streamed the whole thing overnight. There are some quality things there, but Todd can deal with those. And it's mostly keep it looking pretty. And then the hard one, I have to have 2,000 followers. Now, when I get 2,000 followers, then I can become a partner, and then I can get a subscription, and then I can get Sparks. So right now, I'm a bit of a chicken and egg situation. I don't want to release it and then go, oh, I'm not going to get any money for 2 months because I'm not a partner. But conversely, if I don't release it, I'm going to struggle to grow the channel. So mixer.com/projectorgames is the old mixer.com/metalmercury 214, wherever it was. In about an hour, give or take, I'm going to move across to doing drone. And at that point, I'm going to continually, throughout the whole day, hint to people could you pretty please, could you please follow this channel? We need 2,000 followers. Now, hopefully, the YouTuber Malarkey Man will be able to get us those followers without any issue. If he can't, then I perhaps question how much. No, zero. No idea on that question. Sorry. I'm just gonna. Hold on a second. And that's the velocity, and then the position becomes equal to velocity times this. But yeah, the velocity should only bleed quite slow. I guess what I'm going to have to do is pop a breakpoint there, and then hopefully check that the transforms forward should only change very minimally. Actually, let's not do it at the breakpoint, just so I can check that my summation is right. Because what should happen is it should bleed into the new movement over 1 second. I mean, maybe it does. Maybe that needs to be 5 seconds or 10 seconds. But what happens is they go into combat and then they just sort of do this 95-degree lurch. Or 85-degree lurch. Also, you Zero, last night, the last thing you said was, cheers, mate, enjoy your life. It just sounds like you never want to talk to me ever again. Okay, so now we're entering the battle. We're in approaching mothership state. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now. Yeah, see, it's just like, it is smooth, but it's not as smooth as I want. So, where else we use the state lurch? Should I just do the state lurch much slower? Approaching mothership. Yeah, let's do it slower. So we'll bleed it in over 10 seconds rather than just 1. I do like this mobile camera I bought. I just wish I could leave it plugged in. My choices are charge or work. Oh. Let's join. There I am. Zero, are you actually joining? Because your ship appears to join when I join. Or are you actually doing it? If you are, that's fine. I was just confused because your one didn't seem to appear till my one appeared. And I'm wondering if one person hits join, if all of the idle players hit join too. You did join. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. To be honest, at this point, I probably want to slow the players down because they actually go quite quickly. Anyway. Hopefully. Why does it lose speed? I'm really confused. So I very specifically developed a system so that the velocity is calculated and added to the system at all points. So the velocity just becomes the forward times the speed times state lerp. Like no ifs, no buts. That's just how it works. So if that number is 0, then we don't alter the velocity. It's that straightforward. And data.excel is actually just speed. We don't bleed off the velocity, do we? Oh, we do here, but we don't generally bleed off the velocity, I mean. The idea is that we calculate a velocity within each state, and then we apply it, but we always smoothly modulate the velocity. So if you saw the spaceship flew along and then just sort of came to a halt and then carried on, and I don't know why. Okay, unrelated, we're going to make ships move forward slower. Mostly we use the... Okay, I've got to keep an eye on the ship's data here now. I know joining's fine, it doesn't affect anything. I was just making sure that me clicking join doesn't cause all spaceships to join. You're not achieving anything. I mean, this isn't even the PC I will run the thing on. Okay, so there is large corvette. So we can see the velocity of the ship, 25. So it should now be slowing down to a halt. So it should be slowing down to about 5 meters per second forwards. It's also instantly going up by 2 meters per second. Apparently. Really? Whatever. So I didn't want to repeat one of the mistakes that I had in my VR game, is that state lerps were very, very, very rough. So you can see it switch between states. So the idea is that it switches to a new state, and at that point, the numbers begin to bleed into the new state. So you can't really tell when it goes from, because you don't see this text. So there we go, like. Okay. Confused. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's going to be really good. I suspect it might not make as much money as the drone game, but I actually consider this game to be really interesting. I really did put in the quick flow. Okay, let's do that now. I don't need to wait a minute every time. A mothership preview. So I obviously don't want to spend I don't want to spend literally a minute each run waiting to get to the point where I can actually do something I care about. So now this will just sort of jib through. That was cool. Wrong, but cool. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's already done it. Wow, that was quick. Actually, tell you what, let's make my life a little easier as well. Debug.draw ray transform.position, comma, vel, comma, color.green, comma, 1. And the targ, that's a position. Okay, LT is the new forwards. I'm wondering if that's the issue. I suspect we might not be normalized, shouldn't be normalizing it there, but we'll have a look. Okay, so green is our velocity, cyan is our target forwards, and magenta is our actual forwards. Now, as soon as those appear, I can jam pause, because I just completely didn't even notice it had switched state because it was so quick. Because it just skipped through those so quickly. There we go. Although that is quite cool. Pause that, so we're looking at that one. What are we at? State timer. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Okay, it's going to happen in 0.3 of a second. Okay, so. Okay, so there we go. We've now entered combat. Our velocity is currently 259 meters per second forwards. Our state lerp is 1. I wonder if it was just that first frame. So our state lerp is now 0. So this means that we should only affect it very minimally. I forgot what I said the different colours were, but hopefully that will come to me. Yeah, that's still turning extremely fast. There we go. Oh, they're very short. That looks so good, though. I really like how it looks, by the way. Partly is I've gone with a very, very bright sun and quite harsh lighting, so that looks great. Anyway, I would say that its turningness is the issue. The velocity, I think, is actually okay, but it's the turning. So let's just get rid of that one because I don't really care. I'm really surprised about that because I modulate the transforms forward. If I do, that will point where we're going before we normalize it. The cyan one. So let's look at that. Debugging my game. I'm debugging my game. Tra-la-la-la-la-la. But yeah, I'm going to stop this at about lunch. I say lunch like I ever have lunch. We're stopping it about them. And then I bet it's 15. So we're now in combat. Now, okay, so the cyan line represents what we want to do. And the green line represents what we're doing. So I will now begin to lerp one into the other. And we're currently doing approximately 259 meters per second that way. See, that seems okay. But then we've lost all our speed quite quickly. Have we lost all our speed? The velocity is based on the transforms forwards. Oh, okay, yeah. I don't think I can. I don't think I can do the lerp there, because what's happening is I am. No, I'm not bleeding the forwards off. I'm not bleeding the velocity off. All I'm doing is I'm adding a very small amount to the velocity. I only add to the velocity. How does that work? Without any sort of friction. I only apply friction when we're dead. I'm a little confused. I've just realised that we just add to the velocity forever. I don't normalise it, I don't mess with it. Well, how does that work? That don't make any sense. Anyone? And then we just add the position, just becomes equal to the velocity. So we're not lerping it towards that. We're just adding the transforms forward. So we always push the ship along the way it's facing. Like, okay, so if I comment that out, I believe the ship will just continue to fly in a straight line. It won't stop. If it stops, then I've got something other bit of code that I forgot I wrote. That's quite a cool effect, but not on purpose. Okay, so we can just skip through to Okay, well, no, it is. We are. If I set the velocity to big number, it is. We are reducing the velocity somewhere. Where are we doing that then? Ah. Right, that's why. I did have a note of this. We do not maintain the formation. Comment. Do not maintain formation as it decays our velocity. Now, I'm not saying we aren't going to have some other issues, but this should mean that now we don't suddenly lose all our velocity when we enter the combat phase, which is what was happening because I was bleeding off the velocity. It might be that I will apply combat force after the thingy. I should also, if I'm going to be watching this back, I should really watch it back at like, oh, wait, no transcoding. It's really about how it looks here. Okay, a little sharp still, but better. Now, without the velocity bleed, we may actually have some issues doing stuff. Yeah, what I might want to do is if state lerp is greater than or equal to 1, 0, then only do this once we're fully lerped. We may also want to just maintain velocity for the footses. Oh, well, fuck you, camera. Alright, I might need to watch that again because I need to make sure that that's... So the camera should, you see, track to the player and then pull out over like 15 seconds. But of course, I'm jamming through the states for the timing. Can I please get my overlay? So I don't actually know if something actually went Larry then, or just simply because I skipped through. If you watch here, it's panning out, it's panning out, it's panning out, and normally it has 15 seconds, and I gave it like 3 seconds. Oh, that was pretty good. You see it sort of lurch, and then that looks like it has proper physics and velocity and stuff. Which it kind of does. Sort of. Then I'm dead. Cool. That seems better. Ironically, as I said earlier, just having just me playing it actually makes it much harder to... I need to sort of make myself invincible. Okay, what I'll do is I'll do... Also, I don't want to see shit like this from a professional API. Returns true while the user holds down the key identified by name. Think auto-fire. No, it's not auto-fire. It's a single held instance, not a repeated press. What the fuck, Unity? But yeah, that actually just lets me skip through when I want to. Right control is my generic skip time key for most games I write. Okay. So hopefully then I should be able to do... Look at me! And Kukor, I don't know if you're still there, but as I said, feel free to join. It does not affect it. It just gives me more data to work with. I mean, it should say something like here, there should be a blah, blah, blah joined, blah, blah, blah joined. A lot of this is just going to be just polish all the way through. The game itself is pretty simple. It's just polish, polish, polish. Okay, now the buttons should both work as well. Even if they both say unavailable, which is fine. See, my stream's lagged. They're still a bit lurchy. But yeah, you can activate fields, you can activate missiles, and they do work. Not that I can see them. Yeah, there's the missiles launch. Oh, wow, yeah, see, that's a bit fast, isn't it? The ship's designs are all bought. It's by a fantastic guy called CG Pitbull who does absolutely amazing work. Like, properly, wow. I don't know what that ship's by, though. Oh, man. You're dead. You should have been using your shields. You should have been using your shields. But I didn't implement a full loop last night. I think the background might need to be a bit darker too. Nope. Also, no they don't, but if they do, why do you care? Oh no, look, they kind of clip through each other. But I don't need you. I can prove it. The answer is no, they don't. They actually all move away from each other.
in quite a complex way. They might do a bit of clipping, but overall they really don't. So they actually do this very complex system where they actually do push away from each other. So I actually watch it from this view. It's actually quite cool. It's not perfect. And somebody needs to join, I think, before it will progress. No, well, they're not quite. The thing is, they're not quite as good as they were. They're pushing. They should push apart more, but not face quite so much. But the formation force is applied full stop. But yeah, doesn't that look cool? Now, unfortunately, all ships are identical. But that's what we're talking about. That's our game right there. Now, demo ships don't have trails, but normal ships do. I'll fire some missiles though. Missiles, laser. Now we might actually live a bunch longer. So I need to do a bunch of work here to look at different things, but yeah. See, I think that looks really sweet. I don't think we can win, by the way. It doesn't care. It will still say after a while, you've been defeated. Oh, there does actually appear to be some... Oh. That might be because they're demo ships. The ion ships appear to be stopping dead whilst firing. Look. I'll check that in a sec. Like I said, you can't win. It will just destroy the entire fleet. Obviously, we should have won by now. I've seen a lot of errors too. Hold on. Okay. If m owner.m stats. Now, why was the ion... hiding in the wings. Cheap ass webcam? Not really. I've got the same webcam everybody else has got. It's the Logitech 7-1. Basically, there's one webcam. It's reasonably cheap. It's extremely good quality, and there's no reason to buy any other webcam ever. That sounds very familiar. Probably. No. Well, maybe you just didn't mean to see. No, hang on. It's weird. Logitech actually do loads of different ones. Well, to be honest, it depends what you're looking for. I can get one that's for 15 quid. No, it's there. It is the C920. That one. The same one every other YouTuber in the world has. It is by far and away the most popular one by a huge margin. And I have no complaints about it. It's absolutely fine. But it depends what you want it for. I don't know what that is. Because I said I can get a Logitech 270 for 15 quid from Tesco. I wonder how many I can add to my basket. I can add 99. Oh man, that's okay. What's that to do with it? Right, I'm back in just one moment, and then we'll see if I can work out why the ion cannons are stopping the ships dead. But yeah, I'll leave it run, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes. I hope we win. Now, why is it so? It's like the position's not being updated when we're firing the beam. It's all smoke and mirrors as well. Everything kind of moves just on this plane on front of it. There's nothing to the right hand side. There's your Zerial right there. I can tell you must have pressed the shield button. But yeah, it's all smoke and mirrors. It just looks good from one angle. How strange. It just stops dead and then carries on. But the velocity was the same. We don't do anything with this function. We just say, if we have ion... Ah, right, okay, there we go. That'll be right. It's only the demo ships that do this. Which I need to keep in a good working state, because they're the ones where people go, oh, what's good about this? And I can go, 1,000 ships! And they're like, whoa, how do I play? But yeah, I don't know why, honestly. They seem to sort of do it. And then, like, they're actually... Well, then they're just in... maintaining formation. That's fine. Okay. Actually, if I just remove that a moment. I actually wrote this for a different game, this system of the formation force. And I got notes to make it threaded because I worry it could actually get really expensive on big setups. But yeah, I've just removed the... That's a bit better, isn't it? And then they're coming back in. Why are they coming back in? I think what will help is if they... If I make this like 10 times less So the formation just modifies the velocity. And then, but we are like turning towards it way too much. Let's turn towards it much less than we did. Does that look better? It's working better, but they do need to move forward slightly. So what probably also needs to happen is whatever direction world forwards is. Positive Z, so vector 3. Move into the scene 2. So now we have 3 velocities all sort of blending towards each other. Yeah, incidentally, about the models and stuff, they're really nice. Like I didn't do them, but they are very well done. Like far more detailed than we will need, so that's good. So they get too far away, it kind of tries to push you back, which is a bit... Yeah, the game can't progress unless you have at least one human player in it. And I would assume, obviously, if it did that, somebody would go, "Oh, look at me!" I might actually implement only push away on that one. The idea is I can just throw like 1,000 ships in and they will eventually arrange themselves into a nice formation. That does look sweet. I'm really like super happy with how it looks. It'll look even better when there's loads of different ships with different skins and different speeds as well will help. And also slightly different timing on that would be cool. I don't know who we're looking at. Oh, we're looking at you. You're a bit late to the party there, you Serial. The fuck's that, dude?
Oh, hello, is there a space battle going on?
You guys go first. Cool, that's not working. But if you look at the ship's health, which is the... I don't know which. I'm guessing the green one. Well, I think we win quite quickly. Like, obviously we can't win because there's no win option yet. Yep, mothership health is thing. Let's get rid of all this. The most important player will win that battle. You'll all spend sparks. Nothing I can do about that. And once one person's got it, someone else can't have it. But the priority of who gets looked at is based on your ship level plus your subscription status. So whoever's the best, the most important, will get to look at it. Yeah. Oh no, that should be fine. Yeah, that's fine. And then we'll have maintain outwards formation. Was it fleet assemble? No, I can't remember now. Maintaining formation is the one. Oh, excuse me. Now, if I were to leave this, as far as I know, eventually, but you notice what I mean about they do absolutely maintain. They don't clip. I mean, they might occasionally, like very occasionally. There you go. That's super close, but those are diverging, and then that pushes down, and then eventually that will push it. So I should let's try it. Let's try it. Let's crank it to the max. Please note there may be also a limit on the number of people we can have. This is now more. Probably too many. Although I think that's pretty much all trails. I have some plan for the trails, but I've not written it yet. Now, I'm fairly sure as soon as the trails are done, it will speed up. I hope so, anyway. Where are the ships? Why are they here? What happened? Ah. I guess there may be an issue. If you have enough ships, they just shove each other forwards very, very quickly. This is only a guess, but they appear to be still maintaining formation, but also have made it out past the... Okay, you can see I've pressed stop now. Thank you. Let's drop that down. That's one of my goals, is to hit that number of mobs. I've got some notes and some plans and things. So I think when you have enough of them, what's happening is they'll be shoving each other all the way forwards. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Like, that is pretty cool. I also need to have some more cameras, so it won't. So sometimes it'll switch between a camera that just sort of flies down through the fleet like this, and it won't always be that. So sometimes the camera will be static in front of the base. Okay, so that was 512, and that was fine. Let's try 1,000. I like to go dangerously. Yeah, they actually come through there a lot faster. It's still pretty cool though. What it might do is on the approach, it might switch to a different camera. I want to do more camera work as well. The camera needs to be quite interesting and do lots of different things. But it will continue to fly towards there. So I think 1,000 is about our limit. Because they've actually made it halfway to the enemy mothership just through sheer stay-awayness. But yeah, I also want to have cameras like that just sort of set as the fleet fly past. I'm not going to do that today though I want to, but I'm not going to. As I said, I kind of want to just work on this game full time, but unfortunately I do have other commitments. Yeah, also fixed camera there, so they just go. Although I would say they appear to be having a lot of speed on the way in, like before they've arrived. So what's probably happening here is they are pushing each other apart very quickly, and that's accumulating a lot of velocity. So this one here is doing 400-ish. Curiosity, if I don't warping in, bleed off the excess heavily. I think what's happening is during the intro it's just building up huge amounts of force. Yeah, see that doesn't. Yeah, you can see it pushing them apart there. I wonder if they just shouldn't be doing that at all. This should be based on having passed the warp gate. Yeah, that's the problem. We warp for 1 second. The problem with that is we spawn in at a random location back there somewhere. So we warp in somewhere between... Yeah, we warp in like a big sort of sphere back there. I might actually just do random.range 0.99 f, 1.01 f. They do arrive awfully bundled together. Did that work, or did I actually just make that worse? I should now arrive in 4 waves, not 2 waves, which will also help. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of helps, only the faster ones always just slam into the previous ones. I can do it in 8 waves, but that said the that is pretty cool, but I wonder how many of them actually do collide. I can't really tell. But I don't really want them quite this far through. I'm not sure what to do. I'm not sure what to do about this. It's a bit where so they come through, and as soon as they're through, after 1 second, they begin to slow down. Which is okay. So the first one's warping in. And then as soon as it's in, it begins to slow down and then it begins to push itself apart. Then the second one arrives, but does it overtake it? It does seem to overtake. I know why, but that's because I don't have any of the. Let's switch back to the other one. So the ones in front should be pushed forwards by the amount that the other ones are pushed back, but we're only doing away forces, not towards. Well, we'll say. Okay, that doesn't. I was wrong. I guess what really needs to happen is they need to get out the way and then slow down, which is obviously a little trickier. I mean, in reality, there's no way you would try and jam 1,000 spaceships through through like this, because that would be nonsense. I'm still trying to work out why the last ones to arrive, which I will check. So this is a later one. Here, for instance. Okay, this is the last one, or the last wave probably. But this one, for some reason, yeah, I see you, Zero. I see you. Can I click on you? Can I fuck? There I go. Delete. Ha! It did not like me pressing delete. Loads of errors turned up. Is that what you're doing? I think the formation code is perhaps not chucking away stuff. So we chuck away stuff at max dist. So if I just do if dist is greater than max dist, continue. Too far, don't care, no inward force. And the answer is you've just got lots of forces being applied from 1,000 other ships. It is the short answer to your question. That seems slower. That's good. But if I do, that's actually very interesting. The last ship there. Meow. I mean, honestly, we're kind of ending up in the middle of it anyway. So that leads me to say here is that maybe we should lose a bit more speed than that. Because I am adding a bunch of forward forces. Yeah, that does actually slow them down. That looks very cool. I mean, unfortunately, it's struggling a little bit. I think oh yeah, space. I forgot spacebar is the cheat key that does stuff. So let's run from here again. See what we get. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not really trying to fix this. I'm just trying to get it so if I show it off, it's not completely borked. I mean, I have other fundamental issues. But we are now running at 1,000 and the frame rate is still at 40. Back What's that? Oh, that was bad timing. I missed it all. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, probably more warp gates and things like that. Yeah, so don't forget, we're talking about 4,000 plus stacked trails. So no is the answer. That's just not how it works. You can't clamp a HDR. HDR is infinite. That's its thing. Having said that, it looks like the new one can. Oh, that's going to be slow. We'll try that. Yes, let's try clamping it. Let's try clamping it to 64. Why not? That's actually very new. That's a DX11 thing. I've never had clampable bloom before. It just wouldn't make sense. So there's our bloom. Clamp to. Now, if I just the bloom off. Oh, that's not bloom. It's not bloom. It's particles. No, I've never seen clampable before. Like if I make the bloom bright red, yeah, that's the bloom there. That's subtle glow. That's solid glow. I think it's just the particles. That's just like warp particles. Yeah, if I look here, so this screen has no. Hold on, what is that then? So that's it with no post-processing. Huh. Yeah, they... Wait, why now decided to render? There you go. It's the warp particles. I could probably fix that by clamping that to 100. But yeah, it's not... It wasn't what I thought it was. You had that nightmarish thing where... There you go. Badoink, badoink. I'll undo the changes to the... Oh, will I? Yeah, I'm using the new Unity version 2 post-process cinematic effects. See, that is the bloom on the trails. And that, it would be not... I don't... Yeah, you can't really clamp it in the sense that here... This is what I mean. It's just a big... So it's just the trails drawing over each other. There's not much I can do there. So it looks like 1,000 is feasible, but 2,000 is definitely not feasible. Unfortunately, excuse me, I think the clamp... Oh dear, just had a drink. The clamp is actually screwing up the lighting. That does look very cool. Interestingly, if I do a quick profile, is it rendering that's killing it, or profiling? Or, come on, Unity. Give him some profile grabs. Well, I'll stop it running and hope that it stops rather than crashes.